What if Dreamlight Valley's next realm wasn't another kingdom, but instead your own backyard? Hi everyone! Today I wanted to share a Dreamlight Valley expansion concept I've been working on called Tiny Trails. Instead of traveling to another Disney World, this DLC shrinks our character down to the size of an insect. Suddenly, blades of grass become towering forests, puddles become lakes, and an ordinary backyard transforms into an entire world waiting to be explored. As I show you the drawing and coloring process behind my concept art, I'll walk you through the story, the gameplay ideas, mechanics, companions, and all of the characters I imagine joining the valley. To start us off, we have new gameplay features. And of course, a Dreamlight Valley expansion wouldn't be complete without brand new ways to play the game. So I wanted Tiny Trails to feel like a full DLC rather than just a new realm or adventure pack. Because we shrunk down to the size of an insect, everyday objects become valuable resources. Instead of mining gems or collecting hardwood, we'd gather things like dewdrops, flower petals, acorns, dandelion fluff, bottle caps, popsicle sticks, buttons, pebbles, and even twine. It's a fun way to completely change how we look at the world without actually leaving a simple backyard. These materials could be used to craft furniture inspired by the realm itself, including leaf hammocks, bottle cap tables, popsicle stick bridges, pebble pathways, and rustic woodland decorations that feel right at home in the valley. I also thought this expansion deserved a brand new royal tool. Rather than another variation of the shovel or pickaxe, we would be gifted the royal magnifying glass. And since we're so tiny, sunlight passing through the lens becomes a powerful tool. We could use it to reveal hidden Dreamlight symbols, activate tiny mechanisms, light campfires, or burn away vines and other obstacles blocking new paths. And because every expansion introduces new companions, Tiny Trails would feature some of the backyard's tiniest residents. Imagine befriending adorable caterpillars, glowing fireflies, or even garden snails. I especially love the idea of a little snail following you around the valley as your companion. It'd be such a cute and unique addition. Our story begins when a mysterious burst of Dreamlight magic goes wrong, shrinking our player and scattering tiny Dreamlight fragments throughout an unfamiliar realm. Each fragment contains powerful magic that's now affecting the environment around it. Until they're recovered, the strange magical effects throughout the realm will continue to grow. Our guide through this miniature adventure is none other than Jiminy Cricket. Who better to help us navigate a world where we're suddenly only a few inches tall than one of Disney's wisest little characters? Jiminy explains that we must recover the scattered Dreamlight fragments before the magic spirals completely out of control. This is also when we are gifted the royal magnifying glass. Our first biome is the backyard jungle. Towering blades of grass sway overhead while pebbles, leaves, and twigs have been transformed into cozy little homes. Here we meet Princess Ada and her younger sister Dot from A Bug's Life. A forgotten garden hose has become a raging river that's threatening to wash away their colony. Ada wants Dot to understand that helping others comes before adventure, but Dot can't resist treating the flooded backyard like one giant playground. Together with Jiminy, we help the sisters stop the flooding while Dot learns that being brave also means being responsible. Once the water is stopped, the first Dreamlight fragment is restored. With the flooding under control, we venture into the Sandbox Dunes. What was once an ordinary sandbox now stretches into an enormous desert filled with rolling dunes, towering buckets and shovels, and an impressive sandcastle standing proudly in the distance. But the magical sand never seems to stay still. Another Dreamlight fragment has caused the dunes to constantly shift, trapping anyone unlucky enough to get caught beneath them. That's when we meet Chip and Dale, the rescue rangers. They've converted the iconic Pizza Planet truck into their very own rescue vehicle. Chip keeps every mission organized, while Dale's enthusiasm usually creates just as many problems as it solves. Together we race across the sandbox, rescuing stranded toys, insects, and tiny Dreamlight spirits before the moving sands swallow them up. After one final rescue mission, the second Dreamlight fragment is restored. Our next destination is the back entrance to a gigantic kitchen. Cabinets feel like skyscrapers, tables become bridges, and forgotten crumbs are practically feasts. Here we meet Emile from Ratatouille. Unlike his brother Remy, Emile is completely distracted by the endless buffet of food surrounding him. Unfortunately, another resident is making things much worse. Forky has unknowingly discovered another Dreamlight fragment. and every time he picks it up, the surrounding magic becomes more unstable. Objects begin moving on their own, cupboards open unexpectedly, and magical chaos spreads throughout the kitchen. After convincing Emil to stop snacking long enough to help, and showing Forky what's really happening, we're finally able to calm the magic and recover another Dreamlight fragment. And just as everything seems to be getting back to normal, a terrifying monster appears in the backyard, or at least that's what everyone believes. Because of the unstable Dreamlight magic, Rex from Toy Story has accidentally grown to an enormous size. To the tiny residents of this realm, he's absolutely gigantic. Ada prepares to defend the colony. Chip and Dale rush to rescue everyone they can. Dot is convinced he's the coolest thing she's ever seen. And only Forky recognizes Rex and realizes the truth. He's not a monster at all. He's just another victim of the broken Dreamlight. With everyone finally working together, instead of assuming the worst, the final Dreamlight fragment is restored. Jiminy reunites the fragments into one complete Dreamlight crystal. The magic is returned to normal, Rex shrinks back to his usual size, and the player is restored as well. Outside of the story itself, I think Tiny Trails could bring a lot of personality to Dreamlight Valley. I'd love to see new furniture collections inspired by everyday backyard objects, unique crafting recipes using all of the new materials, and hidden collectibles scattered throughout the realm. Imagine discovering forgotten marbles, toy soldiers, buttons, old coins, or other tiny treasures hidden beneath the grass. These would be little reminders that an ordinary backyard can become an incredible adventure when seen from a different perspective. And for me, that's what Tiny Trails is all about. It's not just about shrinking the player, it's about making the familiar feel magical again. Sometimes the biggest adventures happen when you're at your smallest, and sometimes the smallest acts of kindness end up making the biggest difference. If this were a real Dreamlight Valley expansion, I'd absolutely be first in line to download and play it. So thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear what you think of the concept. Which character would you be most excited to welcome to your valley? And if you could add one more Disney character to Tiny Trails, who would it be? I'll see you all in the next concept.